What is going on, everybody? Josh's Comics is back. A little bit of a hiatus. Took a almost month off because it was Terrificon week last weekend. Man, one of the best shows around. Picked up a T-shirt this time around too. Guys, we have a lot. This is gonna be a long video. I was originally gonna do 2 parts, but I didn't get the footage I wanted to make 2 parts, so it's gonna be one whole long haul. Um, do me a quick favor though, before we get in the haul, hit the like button. Please subscribe, helps out the channel. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I used my GoPro. I don't know how well the footage came out of me meeting some of my favorite artists and getting signatures. And then, of course, I did some walk around footage. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump in. I'm going to let you guys take a look at the walk around footage. And then probably split this up and show you guys the now you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna show you guys, oops, sorry, my bad, I'm gonna show you guys all the footage from getting signatures to the walk around, and then we come back, we're gonna jump into the hall, so enjoy. So, guys, there it is. Should have gotten more. It was a long week, and for me, and so before we get into the haul, I'm just gonna kind of break it down how my day went. I drove up Friday morning, which was in looking at it was probably a bit of a mistake on my part. I woke up about 4:30 Friday morning. I was on the road about 5:30. Had to stop, get some gas, get some ice for my core and stuff, so I could take up drinks for the weekend. Got up to Connecticut at Terrificon probably a little bit before 10 o'clock. I'm gonna say about 9:40ish. Got in line a couple minutes after 10 o'clock. Stood in line for 2.5 hours. So early access, it opens up at 2:30, and man, that was killer on me. Did as soon as the doors opened at 2:30 or at my bad, 12:30, one in. I probably was on the floor for about 2 hours, and then about 1:30, 2 o'clock, I got a text saying that my hotel room was ready. I stayed at the hotel this time for one night only. Again, I'll get into that in a little bit, but excuse me, one in, checked in, came back down, did the con to about 6 o'clock. About six, packed it up. Was gonna go to lunch with a couple, or sorry, dinner with a couple of my friends, but some of them were still talking, and I wanted to just go get some food and go straight to bed. I was tired, a long day for me, so I went to Bobby's Burgers. Recommend you check that out. Back up to the hotel room. Probably about this time, it's almost 7ish, 8. Got a shower, laid down. I was out about 8:30. Woke back up. Had my alarm set for 6. Woke up at 4:30. Couldn't go back to bed, so I was up at 4:30 Saturday morning. Went back to the con. Stayed to about 3 o'clock that afternoon and drove home about 5 hours. Didn't get home to 10 o'clock that night. So I'm just gonna say, was it worth spending one night? Yeah, for me it was. I mean, going forward next year, I think I'm gonna get the room black. If you can get it November 15th, a couple days after it goes on sale, you can usually get the 3 nights for about 300. Or sorry, you can get about 3 nights, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sorry, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So that way you can get there Thursday and leave Sunday morning. You can get it for about $700, and I recommend staying at the hotel if you can. It'd be great. Um, Overall, this is like my con of the year. I look forward to the show every year now. My third year going. And I'm gonna keep going. I don't plan on stopping unless, something big happens or, some kind of life changes like that. But it's my yearly show I look forward to. And this year was different. I did not buy a lot. I bought very little. Actually, I probably spent on buying just books for the collection. I spent maybe less than $40. All of my money went to signatures and commissions, and man, this show, Terrificon, you can find great books, you can find great deals, but I know I can find them too closer to home, and compared to a lot of these artists that I'm either meeting for signatures or commissions are hard to come by sometimes, and I just don't see them except for once a year at Terrificon. So enough with the haul. Sorry, enough with the talk of how I enjoyed it. I really did. It's one of the best cons out there. We're gonna jump to the haul, and then afterwards, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys, a little bit more of an in depth review, I guess, of the con and maybe some tips and tricks for next year. But let's start off. I'm gonna show you. So I picked this up at the Wonder Woman Museum. It is a great it's a great organization set up to help with women fighting domestic abuse and everything. And Ron Lurie, who was there, did a great print. You could pick up a print for $10, or you can pick up a signed limited edition. This is print 2 of 50 that was signed by Ron. I picked up at the Wonder Woman Museum, and you saw in the footage I did include that. Go check out the Wonder Woman Museum. The I believe her name is Chrissy, if I'm right about that. I could be wrong, but she is a absolute sweetheart to go talk to and a highlight for me. She was there last year and she collects Wonder Woman mobilia, and ultimately is going to make a big museum based off of that, but also the money goes to, like I said, for women and to help with domestic abuse and things like that. And it's a great cause, in my opinion, and I recommend you guys check them out. Um, whether you put on Instagram or YouTube, or even go to Terrificon yearly, they'll be there. So always a great time. Um, I'm gonna jump into my haul that I bought. We're gonna take a look at some of the books I bought. Again, guys, this is all I bought. So, and believe it or not, they're not even they're sketches, bunk covers. So I picked up Batman Harley Quinn. You already know Harley Quinn's gonna get sketched on that. I picked up the blank variant of Detective Comics issue number 400, Man Bat. This is a good one. I gotta figure out what I want to do this, but this is Batman issue number 475, and I believe this is the Laughing Fish, where Joker has the fish with the toxin and everything. I could be wrong about that, but I do love the classic Detective Comics that go on there, so that's cool. Not saying I have to get a Joker sketch, but Action Comics issue number 252, first appearance of Supergirl. So yeah, the Batman Harley and the Supergirl, I have an artist already in mind. I'll tell you a little bit about her because I'm getting a drop off that I dropped off this weekend for Baltimore Comic Con. But Supergirl, I'd like to get a sketch done. I'm thinking about possibly doing like a her in the animated suit, but with the pale tan cape or rain jacket from the movie. I think that'd be kind of cool. This is a good one. Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween blank. I- I'm I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking about potentially doing maybe a jam piece of doing artists just to do any Batman characters in Tim Sale's artwork style. Potentially, I have to see. And of course, I picked up another Supergirl issue number 21 blank. I have to get somebody else to do something on that. Maybe do like two characters on this. We'll see. And then the last book I picked up. This is for a future book and a signing, a book I've wanted. The artist, however, had to cancel and couldn't make it to Terrificon, but he will be at Baltimore. As of right now, he will be. And this is Wonder Woman 118 during the John Byrne run, and it's also a great cover by Garcia Lopez. I like that. I love that. So I picked that up. Got this only for $10. Was looking for it, and like I said, I didn't do much hunting. It my time. So when I got there at 12:30, I actually knocked out pretty much 98% of my commission, or 98% of my signatures. What you're about to see. Um, and I had to wait on one more artist. He wasn't there yet, so I checked in the hotel room, came down. But I picked up two commissions and technically dropped off two commissions. Well, three commissions, but yeah. So I was pretty much done doing my signatures about 3 o'clock, which was good. I thought it was gonna take me a couple more hours, because some of the artists you're about to see did have long lines. And I'll tell you a little bit about those lines. But the one artist that had to wait a little bit longer to see, he wasn't there as soon as doors open, was Dennis Conwan, if I pronounce his last name right. The amazing artist, Static. I actually met him last year at Baltimore Comic Con. Funny, he will be back at Baltimore this year. And I had his variant edition with the blue background of Static that I had him sign. This I had him sign as well. Both copies are, minty. So I'm thinking about possibly getting both graded and keeping probably the variant if it's a 9.8, obviously in the collection, and maybe doing this for a giveaway. We'll have to see. But it was great to chat with him, and most of actually all the artists I've met, you should have seen in the video, except for David Finch. I made a mistake when I was using my GoPro, and it took like 68 pictures instead of a video. But it was a pleasure to meet Dennis. I may not even have that footage. I'm not sure, but it was a pleasure to meet him and talk to him real quick and congratulate him on Static because we know a movie or a show is officially in the works. A new ongoing series is gonna come out in a couple months, so he's happy about that, and I'm happy for him, and he's always a pleasure to talk to. The other artist that I kind of mentioned earlier about a commission, Adriana Miller, I met her and I got her to sign right up here, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy #1. So not only did I get this for free because she does free signatures, but I dropped off a commission for her. So I will be picking up a Barbara Gordon Batgirl sketch cover full color submission from her at Baltimore. Originally, she was open to the idea of potentially doing it this weekend because it was a Friday that I talked to her, and she's like, I could probably get it done by Sunday. My thing is, I left Saturday evening, again in the afternoon, and I also didn't have the money to do that. I just, would rather wait until, give it a month. That way she could take it home, work on it, do her thing, and just pick it up at Baltimore. So I'm looking forward to that. And I asked if I could get her to do the costume when she does the suit to have it as the Batman animated version, which is the black and gold. So I can't wait to see what she does again with Baltimore. And I think the Harley Quinn, along with the first Supergirl Action 252, I'm going to have her knock those out for me as well in the future. So speaking of David Finch earlier, I said this on one of my videos when I made a couple weeks ago. I said I wanted to get David to sign us in orange, and I think he read my mind. So I didn't say anything to him, paid my money, waited in line. There was a dude, there was three of us in line, and the guy who was ahead of the three of us had like 20 issues of multiple copies of stuff in the orange bags, getting them signed. And every time David signed one of them, the guy had his little blowtorch blowing the air to dry it up. I hate to be that guy, man, but if you got a stack of 20, 30 books, do a couple, go back in line. Like some of us are just trying to get a couple signatures done. This guy obviously is a reseller, so I wasn't happy about that, man. Had to wait a little bit, but eventually I got up in line and I wanted David, and I said this. I'm just gonna ask him if he could sign it in the cape, and he, without even me saying anything, signed it not only in orange the way I wanted it, but on the cape. Take a look at that. I love David Finch, man. He is a phenomenal artist. Originally was gonna try to get on his list of commissions, but I decided to put some other things as a priority forward. I will always get a chance to meet David probably at a future con coming up, so maybe one day. But I love this, man. This book is really cool, and like I said, the orange with the orange from the pumpkins and in the cape, it just pops so well. This next book was a bit of a surprise because this artist originally was announced the week of Terrificon, I think Monday or Tuesday, and Ariel Diaz, who she is kind of known for her pinup style and just some great female covers, was there as a vendor's exclusive. She was there, came in with a vendor and was signing autographs. I only had one book for her to sign. I do want to get a couple more from her in the future, but this is great to meet her, and this is a great book, and this is Batman issue number 181, and it's the Ariel Diaz first appearance of Poison Ivy, reprint from 1996, and you can kind of see the way she signed. So I thought that was really cool. She was a sweetheart. My only issue was that I didn't get pictures with a lot of the artists this year. I did that at Baltimore, which I probably will this year. But I didn't get a chance, and the reason for is because there's so many long lines. Like, guys, a lot of people came in on Friday, and I'm hearing rumor going on right now that Terrificon had the biggest Friday opening ever in their 11-year history. So I hope that's true. I'll be honest, it didn't seem as busy to me as last year's Friday, but maybe that's just because it was my first Friday last year, and I don't know. But there was a lot of people, and I just didn't get many pictures taken. I wanted to get a picture with David or with Dennis, who will be at Baltimore, so if I can do that. But I should have gotten one with Ariel, but I know. Sometimes also, like, when you're a couple hours into a con, you've been up since 4:30 in the morning, you're kinda you the wheels are turning, but you're not there. Next artist I was really looking forward to is meeting Terry Donson. Again, phenomenal cover artwork for the ladies. Pleasure to meet Terry. I felt bad because he had a long line. I don't think he had a handler or anybody helping him. At least not to what I saw. Um, Real quick, a tip for people at Terrificon. Terry was on the end cap, so there's a line going to the people that feel like they can just walk in front of you, and like when you have somebody in front of you and you have less room and they're just trying to walk in front of you and skip instead of walking around the line just to get to the next aisle to keep going. I think you're a douchebag. I'm sorry. I had quite a few people bump into me. One guy, I put my bag down so I get my books out, and one guy came up and pretty much almost kneed me in the head. And he said, "Hey, gotta make some room so we can get through." No, it's called walk around. I also saw another guy who was getting ready to walk right up to Terry. He was about maybe 3 feet away from Terry's booth, waiting in line. Other person left. He was going to walk up. Somebody tried scooting by right in front of the table to get to the other side to go see another artist. Almost knocked his books out. I will tell you this right now. If that happened to me and you knocked my books out, I would probably knock you unconscious. I probably would. I'd get pissed. I think some of these people need to learn more manners. And some people would walk by and be, "Oh, thank you. Thanks for making me room. Appreciate it." No, I wasn't making room. You can walk around. Like, I don't know why you have to cut in front of people, bump into people, knee people, just so you can get across and cut lines, just so you can get to the other side. I'm sorry, but I went on that little bit of a rant. I think it's just ridiculous. And I think, hey, sorry if I accidentally elbow you in the face. Oh, well, I'm so pissed. Anyway, moving on. Let's look at some of the books I got signed by Terry. Issue number 3 of Harley Quinn. I will say his signature, the first like two were good. And then somebody pointed out how kind of it started going a little bit downhill. I had 5 books for him to sign, so I don't think that's a lot, but I mean, again, these are for my personal PC. Harley Quinn issue number 14, signed up here. Harley Quinn issue number 5, and he signed down here. This is a good one. I love this. Issue number 10 of Harley Quinn, signed right here. And then the last book I got signed by him was Batman Superman World's Finest number 6. Supergirl, Batgirl, and he signed up here. So overall, I was happy. Like I said, I'm not happy about how the line went, how people were dealing that, but happy to meet Terry. Great artist. Love the work he does. And that was it for my signatures. Not a whole lot. I had 2 other artists. Uh, Garcia Lopez was supposed to be there. He unfortunately had to cancel. JG Jones. He also canceled like the day before the con, which really sucks. But both of them were supposed to be at Baltimore this year. So let's hope they continue and will be there because I got books for them to sign. Now we're going to move on to the original art, my commissions. So I had 3 pieces. 2 pieces I got back early June that I commissioned. So they were ready to go for pickup. I had another book that I had this artist also do at the con because I just started it on the fly. I met a brand new artist to finish a jam piece or half of a jam piece, and then I had another pre-commission I ordered about a month ago, and I decided to drop the book off. So we're gonna start off with the jam piece that I got finished halfway, technically. So I've been working on a Batman Rogues Gallery jam piece. You guys have followed along. I got Clayface from Ryan G. Brown and Jonathan Ureba who did the Joker, both at King Kong, and both were actually there at Terrificon. So I also had Buzz Hanson, a local creator from my LCS on Free Comic Book Day, that did Scarecrow. But there's another artist there that posted up a week or two ago about his prices, and he had like a full head bust on a smaller size like this for $50. And I love artists that do that. And I believe his name was well, it's Rob, and I believe it's Ratena, pronounced that right. I went up to him. I said, "Hey, I had this blank open area. Any Batman rogue you would like to draw, knock it out." And he immediately said, "How about Harley Quinn?" I said, "Okay." Like, I prefer if artists don't tell me who they have in mind, just think about it and go to town. So he drew this. Again, $50 right here to add at Harley. I love this thing. Man, some great artwork and some great villains. But the best part is the back. Same thing. I can get about 4 pieces on the back. So I'm probably gonna look at doing an artist or two at Baltimore as well and get this finished. I just love that, and like I said, I love how I love the different styles and the color on that. And I think this came out great, and I look forward to doing more jam pieces. This next artist, again, I prepaid a commission. Wade Von Guberbridge, if I pronounce his last name right. I'm not good with names. You guys know that. He did a Killer Croc commission about a year ago for $65 or something like that. Killed it with the line work. I had a sketch cover that I just knew I could get a certain character on and it would look so good. So dropped off with him on Friday. I picked up Saturday a couple hours in the morning afterwards. And this is only I think $75, but I love this thing, man. I think it's great. So this is on Batman issue number 100 blank. Check this out. Boom. So it's blue in the background with some bats, and I asked him to do a Mr. Freeze headshot. My thing was I asked, and it's black and white, but I asked if he could just add in red into the goggles when I got there, and he said, I think I can do that for you. He killed it, man. And I asked him, he wanted inspiration in his style, but he wanted to know is there a certain, portrayal or look to the character that I wanted, and I said Batman the Animated Series. So he did it. Um, I'm looking forward to maybe he'll be at Baltimore next month. I think I have a commission in mind for him next, and he's at great prices. And I mean, you can get a full bust too. I think for like 125. I might do that for the next character, but man, this Mister Freeze is really cool. It's a simple character to do, but man, the goggles in red, it's so good. And the way how he put the reflecting of like the snow or light, it's just amazing. So shout out to Wade. I have future commissions coming his way. Now this next artist, which will be my last artist I picked up for commissions, Ryan Santos. He was my first ever sketch artist that Broke Boy Comics introduced me to. Got my Catwoman last year from him. So this year I did what I pretty much have planned. I'm gonna get him to do almost every single Rogue Gallery sketch cover I want done. Of course, I'll branch out and I'll probably end up getting Ryan to do a Mr. Freeze one day, but you know, I'm still gonna get other artists to do different things. So I'm gonna show you what I did first, and this is a smaller one. Um, I pretty much paid for an 11 by 17 piece and a sketch cover piece. It came out to about 355 total for both of them. 125 for the sketch, 230 for the 11 by 17. However, I started a new jam piece over the weekend at Terrificon, and I asked him if he could do this for me. Started off with a certain character, man, and he kills it. You'll see it in the artwork in the sketch cover and the 11 by 17 in a minute. But I have a Justice League blank variant, and I want to do all 7 members of the original animated series lineup, which includes Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, John Stewart, Green Arrow, yeah, John Stewart, Green Lantern, Martin Manhunter, and Hawkgirl. And Brian could knock out every single one of those phenomenal, but Martin Manhunter really just kind of kicked to me for Ryan because of the way how his art is. And so I said, "Can you start it off? I want to do a little smaller bust size piece. due to the fact that if you do headshots, all of them, you may not really know who some of them are. And you can't do full body really unless you really make them small. So I asked for a nice size bust to start me off, and I'll have to get artists to do the same sizes going forward. But check this out, guys. Martin Manhunter. Look at the detail in the cookies because we all know that he loves eating the cookies. I just I'm floored by that. I think that was a great touch. And he just like I said, I'm gonna have all the other members added in. Probably get, one up here, one up here, one here, one here, and maybe you know what I mean? So it'll be cool. I'm wondering if whoever I get next maybe ask the artist to do a bust and put a glass of milk near the cookies or something. I don't know. I think it'd be cool, but Ryan killed it with that. I think this is only like 45 or $55 if I'm not mistaken, so that was pretty nice. So when I reached out to him in June about doing at first I just wanted the sketch cover done. And I sent this book out to him, and I picked this book up specifically because this is technically like the first appearance of this character in comics. And it's Batman 357, first appearance of Killer Croc. And Ryan has a way of just his art and what he does with everything. Guys, this is a piece. This is so good. And I'm glad and I just realized it, but Batman's shadow on the water, god damn. The detail in this thing, we'll look into it, but this is a phenomenal piece, I think. Take a look at that. Like I said, this down here, Batman's mask in the water, I didn't even realize it till I just filmed this video. That's that's phenomenal. I mean, look at his line work, everything that goes into Croc, the mask especially. That's Ryan Santos puts so much detail into his artwork too. Like the little details like that is phenomenal. I mean, I love this thing, man. And I knew what he was going to do, but oh man, he does such great talent at work. And like I said, his prices are great for what he does. I have so many ideas. I have the next 2 to 3 years of Rogue Gallery sketches that I'm getting him to do a Terrificon every single year. And then the last piece is the 11 by 17, and I think every year I'm going to do this with him. I'm going to get an 11 by 17 piece and a sketch cover done by him. So after I talked to him about doing Croc, I was like, hey, is the 11 by 17, is that how many characters? Can I add 2 characters in? I want to do a versus piece. And he was like, yeah. He's like, you thinking about Batman versus Croc? And I was thinking, oh, that sounds really good. But at the time, I was still riding the high off of Daredevil and Kingpin from season 2 of Born Again. So I said, hey, could you do a Daredevil versus Kingpin piece for me in full color in your own art style? He said, yep. I didn't say anything more than that. I didn't say what to, have in a fighting stance, what to do this. And I said, just them against each other, do your thing, full color. So here we go, guys. Boom. Take a look at that thing. That is a thing of beauty, man. I love original art now and getting submissions. And Ryan is like I said, he's my guy at Terrificon. As long as he's gonna be showing up, I will always have something for him to work on and do for me. The detail in this thing is just insane. Like I said, you get your money's worth. And let me tell you something, he could probably charge up higher for his prices if he wanted to. But you get so much. Again, only $230 for a 11 by 17 full color, 2 characters. I don't know if I could eventually add in more characters. I'm already thinking about what I want to do for next year, but man. And I love what he did with Kingpin. He made him that character book giant size, like not natural size. You know what I mean? Like you know how in some of them he's got a small head on a like giant body. I love that. Don't get me wrong. I love Born Again. I love that take, but I still love this man. I think this thing is incredible. I love what he did with Daredevil. It's just phenomenal. And the billy clubs are in action, and the blood that's coming through the fist. Whew. So that is it, guys. That is my haul for Terrificon 2026. Um, a great time. Uh, to the end of it, Terrificon is a must-attend event if you're on the East Coast. I know people who actually flew out from the West Coast to come to this event. Now, if you can make it, and if you guys, I highly recommend this. If you can fly out, do it. Um, I think this show is just one of the best shows around, actually in comics ever. Mitch, if you watch this, man, shout out to you and the team. You guys kill it every year. Again, it's only my third year attending. I wish I was there from the start, but you have a lifelong fan and supporter in me going forward. I love the event. The passion that you guys put into making this one of the best shows possible. And it's just the mixture of not only being able to meet bigger name artists that have had an impact on you, getting original art commissions that mean something to you, but also interacting with community members that sure you may see on a daily basis or some that you only get to see every once in a while and hang out with. That was my highlight of the show. And I highly, highly recommend if you can afford it, stay at the hotel. It is The process is you go into the con. When you head out of the con, you get a readmission badge, which means you can come and go as many times as you want throughout the whole day up until the end of the show. The show ends that night at like 8 o'clock or whatever the time ends, which means you can go in for 2 hours, grab a bunch of your commissions and books, head upstairs, drop off stuff, refresh, get a bite to eat, and then come back down to the show and redo it again. I plan on when tickets go on sale November 15th. I've learned my lesson. I waited until May to get my tickets for buy a hotel room, and I only could get one night because it was already about close to $500 after fees for one night. Would have been about 1,200 plus to do 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. Nah, but if you can get it open, the first couple of days, you can get 3 nights, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for about $700. I think that's a steal. That's what I plan on doing in November when tickets go on sale. Highly recommend the 3-day pass. Whether you want to do the foot pass or the 3-day pass, 3-day pass is about $132. 30 day, 3 days, 30-minute access each day, and then the foot pass I believe was 210. That comes with an exclusive print, a free T-shirt, a badge and lanyard, and I think something else. I can't remember. And oh, well, you also get a once a day, you can skip the front of a line for only one artist in particular, like a big name. So that's if you go all 3 days, that's 3 artists that you can skip right to the front of the line, and you still get the 30-minute access. But regardless, I recommend if you want to spend the extra money, go for it for the foot pass. If not, get the regular 3-day pass with 30 minutes early access. I'm telling you, it's so worth it, and it's so worth being at the hotel. I had a lot of fun this year, guys. I was able to meet some of you guys I haven't yet before. Met some new people for the first time, and I got to see some of my old friends. Three Men in a Basement, the essential kind of hub of the community, I would say. Everybody meets. It seems like whenever the con opens, we all go to the Three Men booth. And that's where you can link up with everybody. And then you start making plans. And then even when you say, like, hey, if we're going to go out to lunch later, let's meet back at the Three Men booth at 1:30. You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's how it is. And I love it. And I love seeing everybody. Such a great time. Like I said, I picked up some great commissions, new art added to the collection. Picked up some great sketch blank covers for the future. I can't wait to see those play out. Added in to the jam pieces. and signatures, of course, meeting some of the artists. So it was always a great time. Again, I can't highly recommend this con enough. Go out, support Terrificon. Go to Terrificon if you can make it. So guys, thank you so much. If you watch all the way through, this video is probably going to be at least 45 minutes, if not, because, with footage added in. Hope you enjoyed the whole thing. Leave a comment down below. Please subscribe if you haven't to the channel. Let me know what you thought about the haul. Let me know if you are Terrificon. If not, we gotta make plans. Meet up next year. Let's go hunting. Um, until then, guys, stay safe, take care of each other, and as always, we'll see you in the next episode of Josh's Comics.